Leon Bailey has been linked with a shock move to Fenerbahce. Warner Brown might just be taking a big risk, and Michel Antonio mourns his mom.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
They got Gunnaz podcast.
If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is the Gunnaz podcast, and I'm your host, Dicanio, an Arsenal fan that covers everything Reggae Boys and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and to join the Gunnaz community. It's a free way of supporting the channel and helping us grow. Also, another free way to support the channel is by hitting that like button. Every single video I do on this channel must get to 250 likes, people. So just go ahead and smash that like button. Look at that like bar and make sure that it gets to 250 likes. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about a couple transfer rumors involving the Reggae Boys, specifically Leon Bailey and Warner Brown. Before I head into the rumors, though, I want to wish Michel Antonio and his family condolences as his mom passed away. And he took to Instagram with a story post that read, "Hello, Mom, it's your baby here. Your time in this world has come to an end. The last 5 years, it has been difficult seeing you sat in the bed, not being able to see and not being able to walk. But nothing could ever prepare me for you leaving me. It hurts you not being here. At the least, you are no longer in pain and you are no longer restricted to a bed. And you can see us all now. You are free," with a heart emoji and a dove. So yeah, it's been a pretty rough year, people, for Michel Antonio. But at the end of the day, it's always good that you have life. He went through a very tragic car accident. We've just seen the other day, Diogo Jota himself being in a tragic car accident. And the first time when I saw that Jota news, the first thing came to my mind was Michel Antonio, because that could have easily been him. But he lived to see another day. So it's very sad news that his mom passed away, but as Michel himself said, she's now at rest, and it's sad, but at least she's still not living in very much pain and sorrow as well. So rest in peace to Michel Antonio's mom, and yeah, people, yeah, man, it's just life. It's very sad. We'll just have to keep on going, you know. Now, yes, people, what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about Leon Bailey, as he has been linked strongly to Fenerbahce. Now, if you have been on social media, you see it a lot, whether it's Fabrizio Romano making a post that there's nothing concrete as yet, but there are many Fenerbahce fans who are aware of the club's interest in signing Leon Bailey from Aston Villa. And almost every post that Leon Bailey makes, he has a whole lot of blue and yellow hearts in his comment section from tons of Fenerbahce fans. And that is not much to go off, but what we do have a lot to go off is the fact that Aston Villa seems to be looking for a replacement for Leon Bailey, or replacements to move away from Leon Bailey. He has been very injury-riddled. He hasn't had a lot of good games for Aston Villa, apart from that one season where he was fit and he played well. But apart from that, last season was very atrocious, with 1 goal and 2 assists in 24 games for Aston Villa in the Premier League. A very, very bad return for a winger. Not to mention in all competitions. I think he ended the season in, I think, probably 3 goals and 2 assists. Not good at all for someone who played almost close to 40 games in all competitions, right? He was also linked to Saudi, to Neom FC, the same team that we're seeing Granit Xhaka move from Leverkusen to right now. So there are a whole lot of links happening this summer, specifically for Leon Bailey. Will he stay at Aston Villa? I think they want him out, and I think it would be good for him as well to get out of there and start playing some football, be in a team where he's the man again, and he can actually start putting in some performances and racking up stats, because we're going to need a fit Leon Bailey heading into the World Cup qualifiers. And if anything is to show what Aston Villa's mindset is like right now, is the transfer window that they had in January. They brought in Malen from Dortmund, who is a winger. They brought in Asensio, who can play attacking midfield and on Leon Bailey's side, just like Malen. And they brought in Marcus Rashford. Those are 3 wingers that they brought in January, whether on loan or permanent transfer. And that alone just goes to show that they don't see Leon Bailey in their long-term plans and they are looking for an upgrade. And I just don't think Leon Bailey is the type of player who will want to sit on the bench. So I think these links are definitely valid, not only to Fenerbahce, which is the most recent link, but also to Niam in Saudi Arabia. Now, the next player that I really want to talk about, folks, and I hope you guys are still here, is Warner Brown and his potential move to Mount Pleasant, people. Now, I've heard about these rumors with Warner Brown heading to Mount Pleasant, and I have a few mixed feelings on that. But at the end of the day, I think I do get where the players' camp is coming from, and I'm going to explain why. So hear me out, people. Remember, Warner Brown is Jamaica's starting striker right now. And he has cemented his spot in the squad. Maybe not the team as a starting player going into World Cup qualifiers. However, he has cemented himself in the squad. He's currently contracted to Arnett Gardens, who I know for sure have had solid offers, right, from Europe and teams that are interested in Europe. However, one thing we know with players, especially when they have a breakthrough season in the Jamaica Premier League, and they break into that national team, when they get a move to Europe, their form drops. And when their form drops, they don't make it into the national team anymore. It's almost like it's so strange because we tell these players that, hey, you need to leave and go to Europe, right? So that you can get more exposure and you can be in the team for a long period of time. They do get a move to Europe and we just forget about them. We put them in the national team so that they can get the move to Europe. And once they do get the move to Europe, we don't see them back. We've seen it so many times, with Trevante Stewart being one of the latest players. We've seen it with Norman Campbell. We've seen it with Kaheem Paris. We've seen it with Lamar Walker. We've seen it with Junior Flemings. You just don't leave this space. You don't leave the diaspora. If you're in USL, you have a chance. If you're in JPL, you have a chance. When you go to Europe, especially if it's not one of those big countries, you're definitely going to fall out of place in this national team. So I can't help but think, seeing that trajectory and seeing what happened to past players, that Warner Brown and his camp from International Dimension decided to hold off on a European transfer this year. At first, when I heard about his links to Mount Pleasant, I thought that he didn't have any ambition wanting to stay in the JPL. But the more I thought about it, is the more that I realized that it could potentially be the best decision, because we are heading into the World Cup here. What better exposure to have than be in World Cup qualifiers, and when Jamaica make it to the World Cup, actually make it into a World Cup squad. If he moves to Europe, that's a big risk as it relates to not being integrated into World Cup qualifiers, much less the World Cup squad, right? Now, if he stays in the Jamaica Premier League, he's playing for the best team in the Jamaica Premier League, which is going to be Mount Pleasant. He's a starting striker. He's scoring tons of goals. Not only in the Jamaica Premier League, but also he has Caribbean Cup to play with them, and they could potentially make it into the Champions Cup. Imagine him being the starting striker for Mount Pleasant, scoring all those goals. There's no way that he will be denied a spot in that Reggae Boy squad come World Cup qualifiers or the actual World Cup squad selection. And that will only raise his value. That will only let more people know about who Warner Brown is, because believe it or not, Warner Brown is at a level now where he can attract a lot of teams. His age is on his side. He's pretty young. I think he's about 21 or 22 years old. So he's pretty young, has his best years ahead of him. Top goal scorer of the Jamaica Premier League for Arnett Gardens. And I'm pretty sure if he goes into that Mount Pleasant team, he's going to be scoring more. It's a World Cup year, stay in the JPL, play for the best team, score a bag of goal, stay in the World Cup squad, go to the World Cup, be in the squad. A whole lot of eyes are going to be at you at the World Cup. It's a no-brainer, to be honest. I think that would be a wiser decision. And then to move next summer, right, after playing in a World Cup, after having that extra exposure, and he could potentially have a whole lot of teams in for him. The only thing that could stop that plan, obviously, would be injuries. But anyway, look at it, injuries can always happen. So you can't really make plans factoring injuries. And I think staying in the Jamaica Premier League this season would bode well for his future and his career. It's a wild take, and I don't think this is what I was thinking initially when I heard he was being linked to Mount Pleasant. But after giving it deep thought over a couple of weeks now, I just think that it's the right move if it is to happen, people. So yeah, share your thoughts below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Do you think Warner Brown to Mount Pleasant is the best move for his career right now, or do you think he should just go to Europe? And Europe is it's very tricky as well. It depends where in Europe he's going, because if it's not one of those big countries like England, Spain, Italy, it's just I just can't see him staying in favor, right? Especially if he's not scoring goals here, because we've seen Trevante Stewart score goals here, and he's not anywhere near the national team right now. So share your thoughts below in the comment section, people. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you think is the best move for Warner Brown and Leon Bailey? Also, leave your condolences and your RIP messages in the comment section for Michel Antonio's mom. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz podcast.